Hello, welcome to today's video. Now, in this video, it's not going to be a cleaning video, it's not going to be a grocery haul or any other video that I have filmed on my channel before. I've been going through a lot lately. The last video that I have posted was April 18th, and that video was even done about the week prior to its airing date. So honestly, I haven't filmed or even edited a video since maybe the 10th of April. I've been sick, and when I say that, I don't mean like, oh, I've had a cold. I've been sick. And I'm going to post a video about where I'm going, how I'm going, the future from now, the past, and where we're currently at right now. I know my channel doesn't have a lot of followers, and that's okay. I kind of want to make this video so people don't put their symptoms, oh, it's normal, or oh, it's just how it's been. Keep pushing forward and get that help that you think you need. Because like me, I haven't. I've always put my health off, and I think it's coming back to knock me down. And I just want everybody to bear with me. I kind of seem scatterbrained, but I have to pull up a lot of dates, and my brain is just scrambled eggs. So way back in March, there was like some viral bacterial throat thing going around where your nose got stuffy, kind of like sinus infection-y stuff. I had got that, I believe, from my son who goes to elementary school. I had contracted that, and since being a little kid, when I get sick, I'm hospital sick. I will always need an antibiotic. I will always need treatment. I can't just kick something like normal people can. I can't, oh, it's going to run its course, I'll be fine in a couple days. It takes months. For one time, a couple years ago, I had a sinus infection. I went on 3 different antibiotics, the nasal sprays, the neti pot saline stuff to kind of shoot through your nose and go down. It took me 2 months to finally be able to kick it. I didn't get to taste Thanksgiving dinner. I didn't get to really smell, Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner or food. I had to cook it, but I didn't know if it tasted good. I hoped it did. But I couldn't. I could not physically breathe through my sinuses. The pressure, the headaches were just so bad. It was, nope, you just have a sinus infection, you just have a sinus infection, we'll just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing, antibiotics, and we'll give you this and this and this and this, and it'll help, you'll be fine. Well, 2 months went by, I finally kicked it, and then I had just got sick in the Marchish area, in my son's the name of my son's, reorganizing my son's room, and cleaning his room. I was still super sick in that video. In the video where I had my best friend do the voiceover, I sounded like a man. I didn't know if you guys would enjoy that, or that would be, aesthetically pleasing, because I sounded terrible. I was so congested and so mucusy and just not feeling very good. But I had to get his room cleaned, and I had to, because he had got some sinusy issues going, so I wanted to get in there and fully clean, and my husband was home to be able to help me. So I was like, you know what? I feel okay. I'm not 100%, but I definitely feel okay to get this done. But I didn't feel good. I was super sick in that video. I kicked that, and then at the end of March 30th to be exact, I was rushed to the emergency room. I had a mild stroke. And I'm going to insert a clip of my face spasming. It started, I was sitting right here at my desk. I was editing a video. I can't remember what video I was editing, but I was editing a video because I get them done, edited, and then I schedule them out like a week or 2 or whatever the case may be, but they're always filmed a couple weeks before they air. I was, so on top of things until I got that cold. In March. It was like maybe the second week of March. It took me almost 2 weeks to kick it. I ended up going to my doctor and one of the walk-in clinics, and they ran me for some bacterial viral thing, and I had to have an antibiotic. And the antibiotics still didn't even fully kick it. I still had to do my own home remedies and stuff to try to get rid of it. But on March 30th, I was sitting right here at my desk. I wasn't doing anything. I was actually playing the game on my phone while the video was exporting. And all of a sudden, I had tunnel vision. It got real, like, and then I got real nauseous, all in a matter of seconds. So I got up, I grabbed my phone, because I like slammed it down, trying to like blink a couple times to get like where I was going. And at that point, my daughter looked at me and she was like, "Mommy, are you okay?" And I was like, "No, please call your aunt." And I made it from here to my couch, which is 4 feet, 3 feet, 3 steps. I made it to my couch. I almost fell over. I actually hit the corner of my desk, bruised a hip. But I had made it to the couch, and my daughter had got my sister on video chat, and I just broke down into tears. And I was like, I all of a sudden just don't feel good at all. I'm very dizzy. I'm very lightheaded. My head feels real heavy. Like my head just kept going back, and I had literally lost all muscle. Like I couldn't function. I just completely went like a vegetable, limp noodle. And my sister was like, "Well, rest, try to drink some water." Okay, and I was like, maybe I'm hungry because it's right at lunchtime. Like, maybe I had too much coffee or something and it just triggered something. I've literally been sitting at the desk all morning. I haven't even done my morning chores. I've just been sitting at the desk. And I just started panicking because as a mom, you can't be sick. And it was lunchtime and I needed to make my daughter some food. So instead of resting, I had gathered every bit of ounce I could to go make my daughter a sandwich. And I was like, well, I'm here. Let me try to make something and get something in my belly. I shoved that in my mouth real quick, did the best I could to try to keep it down, chugged some water, and just kind of laid there. About 20 minutes had passed, and all of a sudden, my right side of my face had it had started like drooping. Like this all kind of came down, like it was super fat. Like my skin's not, it's not saggy. I don't have saggy skin, but it drooped a little bit. And then this lip and all this muscle, my eye just started like like spasming. And it spasmed so hard, it actually would get stuck to where like I was kind of like, at you. So I called my sister back and she was like, "I'm done. I'm calling your husband. He's going to rush you to the emergency room." I did, and they gave me a head CT. Everything was normal. My blood just wasn't normal. Like it wasn't okay. But time out from that. I had been since before March, so starting February, actual Valentine's Day, February 14th, I had went to do like a primary physical. Like I needed to just do a workup, and I wanted to be checked for cancer and diseases and make sure all my iron was good and everything was good. Like do my yearly whatever. But it's been a couple years since I've actually had like a let's talk about the problems, and then I haven't even had a PAP in almost 2 years, so I'm trying to get that scheduled, but that's beside the point. So I went in, and he was, you go over your family history, and I had told him how, cancer is real big in my family, autoimmune diseases are really big in my family. I have an aunt that currently had lupus, but I don't know these people, but I know that they have had these, and with me always just not feeling good. And the biggest reason I had went to the doctor was I'm always fatigued. My body aches. My fingers hurt. I always have headaches. My back is the absolute worst. My daily pain with my back is about a 6 or a 7 every single day. The morning it's about a 9. To get up out of that bed is absolutely miserable. I sleep with a heating pad. I pop ibuprofen like they're candy. I'm just in so much pain. I've gone through pain management. I've gone through physical therapy. And I have gone through...
What is this?
Sorry, daughter interrupted me. So what I was saying was the pain was just so bad. I did physical therapy, I did pain management, and I also did chiropractic care. But being in the military, you don't really make that kind of money anymore. And chiropractic care has gone up and it's expensive. My biggest problem is they were same day fix. It wasn't anything that had lasted or made me feel better. It was like that day I'd leave the office and I'm like, yes, I feel great. And then, boom, I go to bed and wake up the next day and I feel worse. So I had taken so much ibuprofen that I actually developed an ulcer in my stomach because they were like, they're like, you should not be popping ibuprofen like that. I said, well, then fix my pain. I'm in pain all the time. And it's not imaginative pain. I don't feel good. So they would prescribe me like a muscle relaxer or something different other than I would get Tylenol instead of ibuprofen. Like switch it up a little bit, like take, hot baths. But I can't take baths because I get UTIs. So I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. So I finally found this doctor, my primary. He was like, you know what, let's just do like a full panel of blood work. Let's run you for this. They took 8 vials of blood on the 14th. And my tests were not good, meaning my blood work was not good. It showed my iron wasn't good, my white blood cell count was too low, and my red blood cell count was too high, and that I did in fact have some sort of autoimmune antibody in my system, which is honestly very scary to read that result. Everything else was kind of normal. Like I didn't have stuff in my urine. I didn't have a disease. It just, things weren't adding up. It was like my body was attacking the healthy, making it bad. So we didn't know what was going on. So he's like, well, I'm going to run you for even more, and we're going to run you for other tests to see what kind of autoimmune disease you have, because they ran 2 different tests to like double check their answer, and I did. I was absolutely positive for an autoimmune disease. We just don't know which one. So he ran me for some more tests to try to have a definitive answer on what test actually, what disease I actually have. And those results came back that I have lupus antibodies. But we don't believe that that's what I actually have. So anywho, on time, we will go ahead to when I had my stroke. So in that time frame, that's the information I had found, and then on March 30th, I had my mild stroke. When I was taken to the emergency room, they had me on an EKG, so my heart was really good. I wasn't dehydrated. My CT scan was good. But my blood work just came back and it just wasn't normal. He didn't have an answer on why I had a stroke. It was clear as day I had a stroke. My face, all my symptoms, I had a stroke, but I had no positive, like aneurysm or I hit my head or something that let them know that I actually had one. So I was discharged with rest, muscle relaxers, Tylenol, and more rest, and to check in with my primary. So I checked in with my primary, and he had scheduled me for a brain MRI, a neck, and a lower spinal lumbar MRI. And I was to found in my brain MRI, I got those back because I had to go on 2 different occasions. This military insurance is going to be the death of me. But I got my brain MRI back, and it's not cancer, thank God. I don't have any aneurysms. I don't have any of that stuff in my brain, but I do have ginormous golf ball sized cysts in my sinuses, and I have polyps, which explains my seasonal allergies, why someone opens the door and my face just swells. It explains why I can't kick a sinus infection, why I'm always sneezing no matter what sort of allergy medicine I take or nasal spray I take, or it just, so I have to go, I have a referral now to an ENT to try to see what he wants to do. So that's great. I, possibly have a nasal sinus surgery coming up because they're huge, he said. They're blocking breathing airway, which, I can understand, and they are not allowing release. So they're huge. So I had to get those scans to take to an ENT, just waiting for them to call me to set up an appointment. And we finally got my neck and lumbar spine MRI back just this week. But during March 30th to today is, I don't even know what today is. Today is the 2nd of May. So the whole month of April pretty much went to crap. I had my stroke, and then on the 5 or 6 days later from my stroke, I was hit with flu A. And when I tell you I was hit, I spent 9 consecutive days in my bed. I did not leave my room. I was in my bed for 9 days. It hit me like a Mack truck. It was unreal. I lost 6 pounds. They constantly had me keep going into the doctors to be scanned for COVID. I was negative twice, positive for flu A. Was in a quarantine period in my house. I mean, I was already quarantined. I was in my bed. But there was nothing they could do. And I was, with my disease, I can't fight these things like you can. And he said, it's gonna be rough. And I broke down in the office because I'm a mom. I can't be down for 10 days. It took me a total of 17 days to kick the flu. The nausea, the headaches, the vomiting, the diarrhea, the body aches, the pain, which I already have, it was times 1,000. On day 9, my daughter got hit with the flu. So as I'm laying in bed trying to heal and get better, I'm trying to take care of my 4-year-old who got hit with the flu just as hard as I did. She kicked it in 8 days. So by day 4, we took her to the hospital because she was at that point, she wasn't even keeping liquids down. And they gave her a different, higher dose of a pain reliever to help kick her flu because they said she wasn't drinking because her flu was not high, but it was just messing with her symptom. Because the medicine I was giving her was fine. It just wasn't that extra, that step that you need. And so they had given her an extra weight class of medicine that she could take. So instead of 5 milliliters, she was taking 8 milliliters. And my son, who's 7, takes 10. So that was crazy for me. I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? And she had mild ear infections in both ears. So we had to watch those all while she had the flu. But once I gave her that Motrin of 8 milliliters, she just, the very next day, she was drinking toast, or she was drinking and eating toast, and finally acting like herself. But it took her for another 3 days after that. So about 8-9 days to where she fully kicked it. Thank goodness, because seeing her down was just absolutely miserable. But we finally got better. Everything was good. We were doing great. And then I got my results back, and for my neck and lumbar spine MRI. I know it seems like a lot, and I'm so sorry, but thank you for hanging in there. I have 8 bulging discs in my spine while having arthritis all in my spine. The MRI tech categorized my arthritis as a 50-year-old spine. And in your neck, so when your neck is looking straight, you have a natural curve. They call it the C curve in your neck. So when you go like that, it does what it's supposed to do. It bends. I don't have that. My neck is just like this. So when I bend, it's like this. It doesn't have that curve to give me the ability to bend my neck. So when I do that, I'm pinching all them nerves and that importance in your neck to shoot down to my spine. With my 8 bulging discs, I also have a blocked, something very important. It was a big word. But basically what my physician said was, think of your spine as an interstate, and you get onto an exit to get onto the interstate. It's a little slow, but you get on the interstate. And then you have to take an exit to get off, but it's blocked. So you have to go around and, you know, take a detour to figure out where to go because that exit was blocked. That's basically how he described it. So my body's having to maneuver and find different ways to go around to keep my spine doing what it's supposed to do while having such bad arthritis. And I had to get the baby a snack. So he said that my body's having to detour and figure out maneuvers to go around. That the discs were so close to my nerves that it wouldn't be surprised if I have pinched nerves all the time, which I do. My right hip is the absolute worst. I can just sit now and then go to stand up and pinch that nerve because they are so close to each other. I also have tendencies to throw my back out like like an old person. And there has been 2 times that I've thrown my back out just by, the one time I was bent over helping my child use the bathroom, and I went to stand up and threw it right out. I was in bed for 2 days after that, had to go see a chiropractor to release the spasm in my back because it was so bad and so tight. It took 2.5 hours to release that spasm. And then the second time I had bought, at that time, like a rolly thing so I could try to release my own spasms, save myself some money. And that was, I did the same thing. I had bent over and went to stand up and lift up my daughter and whoop, threw it right out. The most painful thing, close to in the vicinity of the ballpark, sitting on the bleachers of pregnancy. The pains are just so bad. And I can't function with those kind of pains. So we had talked about a back brace, physical therapy, pain management, but the end result of it is we're not going to decide with him that it's best that I just go see a rheumatologist who specializes in autoimmune disease. Now, a rheumatologist is someone who can read your blood and know. You have like surgeons, anesthesiologists, and then primary doctors are like down here, they're just physicians. A rheumatologist has many more years and much more harder things to go by in order to help someone like me. And at this point, I have to see a rheumatologist to figure out what autoimmune disease I actually do have and why I'm always sick and why my back is as bad as it is. What disease, if any, are targeting to make my back this bad? Has this been the answer this whole time? Because I've been sick for years. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. And there's some days I just can't function because of the pain so bad. And it was one thing after another. I got a viral infection, I had a mild stroke, then I got the flu, and now I'm just everyday pain. Like I don't know what to do. In just a matter of a month, I've been down. And I started this channel and I didn't want to take a break and it wasn't intentional. And people aren't probably even going to notice that I haven't even filmed the video or posted a video. I did get one up today as I filmed this video. It just was a video that's been sitting there, but I've been so sick, I got depressed. And I'm trying to get back in it. If you guys would just bear with me. The pollen is big. So with these cysts, I'm really struggling. I'm sniffly. I'm not sick, promise, anymore. But my eye starts to water, and then, my face puffs, so it takes a minute. And with my kids always wanting to go in and out, so I got to go in and out, and then I got to struggle and get the sniffles. So it's mamas. It's just, sorry, that was my cat. She gets excited when she hunts her little toy mouses. So it just takes some time, and I'm going to get back into it, and I'm going to do that. So just please bear with me. But the closest appointment time, mamas, come here, baby. The closest and earliest appointment they had was July 15th. So it is a process to get there, and I pray that she has answers for me because we believe that I have MS. I have the start of MS, which is scary. And I'm 30 years old and in constant pain. Like, I've lived a life, or I've been in a serious car accident or something. I haven't had no damage like that. I haven't. The only thing I can maybe think of is gymnastics. I did gymnastics for 14 years. I mean, that's very physical. And sports, I did them all throughout high school, and swimming and cheerleading and gymnastics and, soccer and volleyball. I partake in all that stuff. I was a very active child. But I've had numerous people tell me that that's not even remotely close. Like, there's something wrong, and we just don't know what, and we don't have an answer for why. And that, to me, is the scariest thing. It's almost like, I feel like cancer would be a better answer. And I know that's greedy and selfish and absolutely terrible to say, but at least then I would have a diagnosis, and I would have, okay, well, there is medicine, because my fear is there's not going to be anything that's going to help me. It's just going to get worse. And it's a waiting game, and I'm not a patient person. I want to go live my life. I want to be over this, but it looks like it's going to take me a while. And my husband's military, and the fact that I could have another stroke at any time scares the absolute hell out of me. Because if you have one once, you very much could have it again. And I only have a sister that I talk to, and I don't have any other family that lives close. We don't even speak to any of my other family. And if I don't, I'm so thankful for my neighbors, because they have been my rock. And my husband and my sister have been my rock throughout all this. And I know that if I just send my daughter to their house, that they will call and help and come running over. And they've been so sweet and give me well wishes and check in on me. I am truly blessed to have my neighbors. But it's Army, so you have people PCS and you have people deploy, and my husband can't just not deploy. And that's my biggest fear. And I'm not don't pity me, he has to. It's the job. Fully understand. I am a strong person, and I've dealt with a lot of mess throughout my life. And this absolutely has me terrified, because I just don't have an answer. So, please just bear with me. We're going to get through this. I know I'm going to get through this, and I'm going to have some videos coming. I wanted to film Easter, but I didn't even get to cook Easter. We had pizza. My husband ordered us pizza on Easter. I finally got all the decorations down, but to move a camera, change a camera, edit a video, I just was so beat. I did it because I was tired of looking at it, and it was like 10 items. We're going to get there. Please leave me your well wishes, your comments, future video ideas, and just stick with me. I will get better. I'm hoping to get a new camera soon, maybe. Mother's Day is around the corner. I wanted to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, grandparents, grandmas, aunts who are raising kids. You guys are all mothers. It's a hard job, and it takes a village. And I love you, and I thank you guys for hanging out throughout this whole long video. I apologize it's so long. But I do love you guys. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.